Hold on, everybody. Wait, Vay. Oh, okay. Okay, I think it's working. So I wasn't expecting to go live, so my bad it's all messed up, but oh man, I'm a little discombobulated, guys. I feel like I can see a vision. Oh man, this mic is gonna be far away, isn't it? I hope you can hear me pretty good. I feel like if you saw the thumbnail, and I don't even know because they just updated it, so I don't know if you will even see it, but I feel like I can see a divine masculine who is like walking away from an explosion behind them or like a fire, and they're the one who like lit the match kind of thing. There's something weird going on. And so I'm really sorry that I'm so late. I was about to go to bed. So if I'm a little loopy tonight too, forgive me, but we've got to be here. So, okay. Let's go ahead and check in on the energy. I mean, we start off major arcana. So we've got Temperance, the Star, a little bit later in the Fool's Journey. There's something important here. Everything about these two images to me have a like a direct opposition to each other. We have, day and night. We have the angelic being fully clothed in glory, the woman naked, where he just dips his toe in. There's some, I can't explain it. I don't know how she's walking on water like this. There's just something about this that feels like it's important. So okay. All right. So we start off Temperance and the Star. And then the World. I mean, we're talking back to back to back. Big energy. Now the woman has left the darkness and is really entering into the energy very much similar to the angel. It's not necessarily yet clothed, but it's beginning. She's wrapped in this. I don't know what this is meant to be. I think about this as a banner of victory. The laurel wreath is similar. The batons, the double-sided candles, all of this to me represents this, even the crown, this feeling of triumph and going into the next stage. So this to me is hitting very strong with the energy I saw of a divine masculine basically like blowing their old life up. And then Nine of Wands, building the wall and not looking back. Now, what's interesting about the Nine of Wands is, to me, this signifies that there's maybe one more step here. So I wonder what the divine masculine needs to do to finally close this out. If you think about the Ten of Wands, many of you have heard me. I refer to the Ten of Wands as like a cleaning out the camp type of card. And one of the examples that I've given is, imagine that you have gone on a long trip, or maybe you are actually camping, and it's been like a week, 2 weeks, and you've been kind of rummaging through your knapsack or your bag or your luggage just here and there. You really haven't had that chance to take everything out and, repack. And at that point, once you do that, maybe you start to realize, why do I have garbage in here? Why do I have my dirty laundry shouldn't be with my clean laundry? And you start to kind of put everything together. You lighten your load. And also maybe you realize, look at all this stuff that I didn't know that I had access to. it's been in my bag this whole time. That's the feeling that I get. That is the final stage for divine masculine, is what remains now that I'm here. Oh, I forgot that I shuffled already and I was going to come show the 9 of Wands, and now it's the 2 of Wands. I don't know where here is, but they are looking at the world and the world is in their hand. Okay, they're looking at the world in a whole new light. Now that they've reached this point, though, where they have destroyed what was, they need to see, like, what remains, what was left over. I packed my go bag before I did what I did. I don't really remember what I did in haste, though. Let me check it out. So I'm curious. This is kind of like a two-part question if you're willing to answer. The first part is, what is it that you think your divine masculine would do? Like, what's something that a solution you probably thought of a long time ago? That's an interesting way to think about it. But what is a solution to the problems that you guys have, the problem of why you can't be into reunion and all that, but mainly their issue? What should they have done a long time ago to just end whatever the previous situation was? And then I think the second part is, how could ending whatever karmic nonsense they were participating in, how could that change things for them moving forward? You know, like, how would they see the world in a different way now that they have the freedom and the peace of mind? Okay. All right. What are we missing though? What don't we understand? And there, we have now seen what, 5 or 6 cards total, and 4 of them have been major arcana. 4 of them have had the imagery of the wand. And if you remember, I called the wands out with the 2 wands in the world card in her hand, the double baton that were both lit on either side. Then the 2 of Wands comes up after we've seen the 9 of Wands. And then the Sun card, who is holding a wand, and it happens to have a flag of what? Victory and triumph and freedom on it. So there really is, there's something that's happening. And we are often known as the divine masculines, divine spark. So is it so strange to see that as they approach reunion and a new opportunity, a new beginning, that they would do so with this divine inspiration, the rod of inspiration. All right, I'm going to lay a few stones out. I'm only going to take what has not been turned over. And I'm going to take, I don't know. Ooh. All right, I'm just going to start taking stuff because I don't know what I'm supposed to take yet. But anything that's... All right, these are all visible. That guy's not. That guy's not. All right, let's put these away. Oh, pretty. I think I'll just leave you out to the side right here. I like you. Hello, pretty. Okay, now. 2 of Wands with the Sun. This would make 21 again. There's something... In the beginning, we had that 14, 17 in the Major Arcana, and all I could think is just 3 steps away from divine. And now we're getting this 21, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 wands. That's 3. That's a planning card, actually. Planning is step by step. So why is this out, actually? This was not turned over, right? Okay, because that shouldn't be there. All right, so let's take these. Let me make sure I'm not tripping. Yeah, okay, so none of these are turned over. So we don't know what these are. We're going to just do like that, do like that, do like that. And okay. So boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. What do we need to know? Maybe this can be, yeah, okay. All right, let's, I think this is going to be kind of some deep insights. I'm hoping that there might be something specific here for us to kind of understand what's going on. Like, why now? Why did the divine masculine decide this was the moment to blow up the spot, you know? Woo! Oh. Kind of want to get rid of that. I don't want to know what's here. I don't want, you know, but I will probably forget. Let's just be honest. All right. The blessing and the curse of ADHD when you're channeling, am I right? All right. Now, again, what's the energy here? What do we need to understand? Now the Hanged Man. Again, major arcana over and over and over. A major move has been made. If you are here, please like this video. It's late. People might not think to click it now. Maybe they end up in the morning because they're going to bed. I know it was a holiday and all that. Please like the video. It can really help people who are missing out on things actually get to see it. Because remember, guys, this is not just about us in spirit. We're fighting against an algorithm who wants more negativity spread than positivity because negativity gets more clicks. Yeah? Look at this. This is important. We have major arcana showing up over and over and over on a reading that kind of popped up out of nowhere and said, hey, Grace, I think you need to tell someone. Okay. What is it that the divine masculine kind of had no other choice? It was either do this or, and you know what's interesting? I put a little thumbnail up. That's what I spent the last 10 minutes doing. I set my table up and I made a thumbnail because I needed you guys to be able to see it. I usually don't reference the thumbnails in the reading. Most of the time I make them afterwards, right? But I could see this image and I remember there was a guy and then there was this background like an explosion. And I was like, there's something missing. And I put a light behind the guy's head because it was like there was this epiphany moment. And it was really more about the guy walking into the forefront, into the light, than it was about what was happening behind. And so I think here, it's so funny because I have the box to the deck here. And I kept looking at the Fool and looking at the Sun and thinking about how this reminded me of the explosion. And then I saw the Temperance card and it had the same thing. And I was like, man, it really, and now here we go again. There's that bright explosion of light behind the Hanged Man's head. Now, back to what I was saying before. You've heard me, if you've been around long enough, you've heard me at least mention this once. I believe that this Hanged Man image of the man hanging on this T-shaped tree, you see the number 4 here, okay? I remember when I first was told early on when I first ever watched tarot on YouTube, this girl pointed out, this is the 4, this is the 4. So I always associated the Hanged Man with the 4 of Wands, with reunion. But what's interesting is I now have this very strong feeling that the Hanged Man is actually the King of Wands. And when he gets off this tree, what do I always tell you he does? He takes a branch and he cuts it. He doesn't know that this is a magic tree. And then he goes on his way. No big deal, just out, living his life. And then he meets his queen. And he's like, you know what? I want you to have this. So he cuts it in half. Because it's like, I want you to be a part of this magic. And the branch grows. And now he's got 2 full-sized wands. And I believe that all the wands from, the Knight and the Page and everybody 1 through 10 of wands, all those wands come from this magic tree. This is a major moment in Divine Masculine's life. And we've got to figure out what is it that's happening that is leading them to reunion, leading them to us, especially for those who are doubting. Remember, there are people on this channel right now who just discovered Twin Flame 6 weeks ago. This is going to be a message that leads them right to reunion, and they're on their way out. That happens all the time. A lot of you don't know that. But those of you who are meant to be here, whether it's here or just on YouTube or in the tarot community or in the Twin Flame, whatever space, during your separation, and it's a long one, and you're like, what the... How do you know when it's actually your time for reunion? Well, the thing is, with this particular channel, we work with waves. Meaning, if this resonates now, but you also know this is, they're not calling me tomorrow. For whatever reason, you just know. Put this in your back pocket because I guarantee you this energy is going to hit again. This is coming up when we're talking about like geomagnetic solar storms. There's so much stuff. Is that the right way to say it? There's so much stuff going on. This is big. and it's changing everything. What are we missing about this though? As we're being shown, I think the aha moment, what did we not, what are we missing about this moment? We need to get in their head, right? Come on. 3 steps away. You're just 3 steps away from divine. There's the 3 of Cups, the celebration energy. I often say this is the divine feminine, the empress, broken down into different pieces. And by the way, Hanged Man, 1 + 2 is 3. We can't get away from it. 21, 12, even the adding the 9 in, 2 and 1 and 9 and number 3, whatever it is, to see the divine masculine in the past who they would have an empress and they would say, I really like that my empress is so confident and so alluring, but also so pure. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to find 3 different people or situations or circumstances or whatever it is to find to fill my time, and I'm going to recreate the energy. See, but the thing is, you often can't bring, let's say they're a playboy, you can't bring your 3 girlfriends into the house at the same time. So you're never going to quite get that feeling that the empress gave you. But you can always try. That's the old way of thinking. But a divine masculine who's had their aha moment, this is them, and I think this is the image that they get of you. This might look like 3 women to us, but I think that to them, that's kind of our power. There's been a lot of energy lately that says divine masculines are still very much intimidated by their divine feminine, so I'm just not surprised by this. 3 steps away from divine. Let's get started here. What do we need to know first? Okay, so we have the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. This is very interesting because this is starting off a message where we're seeing someone go from a time closing out where they closed it out and going into a new season in their life. And we start off with, hey, we are at a point where maybe you read this chapter and it's clearly letting you know that what is done, but also looking forward at the same time, because it's like, how is that even possible? But I bet you there's books out there like that, where it's, chapter 22 out of a 44 book, 44 chapter story, where now we're transitioning into the new thing. What does it look like? We're reading this chapter in their book. Geez, you guys, this is the beginning and the end starts with the world card, which has the 0 of the Fool going through the portal, leaving behind this path of enlightenment for a new path of enlightenment. This is huge. This is huge. Okay. The wands even together, there's something about this that's pointing me back to that Kingdom of Wands imagery that I gave you before, where the king cuts the wands in half. And it's almost like this is what happens, right? There's a spark at either end of the wand when it gets cut, and then they just grow out. I don't know. There's something about this that just feels like it's so important. But I think what this is trying to tell us is we don't really know the magnitude of this shift because we've been watching the divine masculine kind of go through the different levels of their life haphazardly and tentatively, or even just all confused all over the place. And it's not consistent. It's a little confusing for us. And so to hear like, no, it's done. Like, this isn't just a checkpoint on level 1, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And it's like, when are you going to get to level 2.0? No. It's not like that anymore. Something's done. Something is over with. All right. So what else do we need to know right now? Okay. Now we have the angel. I'm going to point back and say that since we looked at the angel, the temperance card, that this is meant to represent temperance right now. Okay? Especially since I talked about the sun in the temperance card, but also around the angel's head, just like the Hanged Man, there is this, if you have that, especially if you have the radiant deck like this one, check it out. There's these lines coming off of it. Like there's almost like just the very thoughts in this angel's head is like creating something and sending messages out to the world, or maybe it's receiving downloads that are so powerful that there's lines around its head that just trying to show the raw power. And so we see this more so, I guess, in the halo and the wings. But isn't that the whole thing that makes an angel? Isn't that what makes it not a person? You take the halo and the wings off, as a person. You add the wings and the halo. So there's something about this that says there is a lot of energy coming through, pointing the divine masculine down the right path. It is showing the divine masculine their higher self, which might be where they're able to leave behind an old season so easily and move into something new. But to me, this is something about this is also a calling from their inner self, like their 5D self. And I think maybe even their inner feminine. They may be hearing something from you. So there's a lot in, like, packed into this energy. What do we need to know? It's the Seven of Cups. I can't be really surprised when I'm telling you I'm getting, the divine feminine, the angel, but we're also maybe getting the enemies and the biggest challenges calling in, and the fears and the riches and the victory. There's so much calling the divine masculine forward. What's interesting is we have the laurel wreath around the world card. We also have the laurel wreath show up in several other places, several other like, I think it's even wrapped around. I can't really tell if this is just a hat around the fool's head. It kind of looks like leaves too, which is a little bit weird. But even like the sun card has it. To see that there's death in that cup though, or on that cup, like death brings forth life almost. There really is something to this old season. And so what I think we need to understand is, remember the angel in the temperance card is dipping the toe in the water, in the light. I think that very powerful image that started the reading off, that's the divine side of it. The other connection to this though was what? The star card. The 3 steps to divine. That's where I first got that message. And I think that might be what it's telling us is divine masculine has to take some steps forward, and then it can start to be where it's actually them actively participating in it. Then you can start to see this person really, I think, embracing the new energy. And I think the first thing that they have to do is initiate some sort of something, communication, contact, reconciliation, reunion, somewhere along the line with divine feminine. They have to connect to a source, a higher something. This, I think, is even what's calling them. And I think that there's some, cut the grass type energy here. I don't think that part's going to be hard. I think the hardest part is the first step, which is going to divine feminine. I think that whatever happens with divine feminine is going to point divine to, or divine masculine to divine. That's the Lover's card. He looks at her, she looks at divine, divine watches DM. There's our checks and balances. I think that by the time they get to the snake, cut your grass, divine masculine, well, remember, I think they already did that. So this tells me that the rest of this is really a cakewalk. They're not really going to let fear conquer them. They're not going to let the challenges of the season destroy them. This is, to me, a quiet confidence that we should even have in our divine masculines right now, that, hey, when we break it all down and what divine is doing in their life, they can handle this because they're a divine masculine. There are divine masculine. All right. What else do we need to know? And I kind of want to start to understand the mind of the divine masculine. I find this interesting as I pull this. This is the mountain. And I think this is talking about almost like some sort of transfiguration type energy, right? Like going, well, now I'm seeing hermit energy. I'm seeing flashes of a bunch of stuff. It's like divine masculine going to the higher place. So what is in their highest level thinking when they're thinking about divine feminine and reunion and love and this next phase? What is coming up and looming in their thought space on that higher level? Wow. King of Swords. I think this says, I have to be a conqueror. I can no longer be afraid. See, and I told you I don't think their fears, they're not gonna let this win. What's interesting to me, I don't even know if I said it. Did I say it already? When the mountain came up, my eyes were immediately drawn back to the 7 of cups, because often you can see in areas that are very, very high up, there can be thick, dense fog or just clouds that cover the peaks of the mountains. And you don't even know really like what's up there. And so there's something here that's like the divine masculine as they go into the higher place. This is where they receive this information. I love this actually. The perfection, the 7, the new path. And to see the King of Swords, it says everything that they are looking forward and processing right now, everything they're seeing is good. Everything they're thinking is for the best of everyone, for the highest good of all. It's not coming through as self-centered. It's not coming through as someone that you can't trust. It's coming through as somebody who was determined to climb a mountain for their own sake, to see just how capable they were because they were tired of giving into their fear. This is someone who wants conqueror energy in their life, and so they go out and they get it. I really like what I'm seeing right now. When it comes to reunion and love, the divine masculine is thinking clearly for the first time in a long time. Now, it's interesting that we get the King of Swords. To me, this is communication. Some of you are going to hear from your divine masculine or already have. I'd love to hear about those conversations, by the way, if you'd like to share, where they might not necessarily be ready because they're on top of the mountain kind of thing, but they're going to contact you, and you're going to know that you're talking to someone who's on top of a mountain. Have you ever had a friend that like went on a nature hike and they came back and they were just so chill, and you're like, did you hug 46 trees or something? Like, you're so chill. You're so happy. You're so grounded right now. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. I know this. I know the meaning of life. You're like, oh my goodness. This is the kind of conversation I think some of you are going to have with your divine masculine or have recently had, where there's a natural high and you can see there's a light on in there for the first time in a long time. But I think others of you are going to start to experience this King of Swords on the mountain energy, where when you talk to them, when you hear from them, when you see them, talking on social media, suddenly they just know what they're about. This is especially going to be important for the DFs who've been hearing, I don't know for years. They know now. So, what do we need to know here? Oh, this is the egg. This is the cosmic egg I hear in my head. The cosmic egg. What is it that the divine masculine, this is going to sound so weird, but what would they like to fertilize? What are they wanting to create and cultivate with divine feminine right now? What is on their mind? Wow. Straight up love. When it comes to thinking about the divine feminine, they want to think clearly, go to the tallest mountain, and make sure that they are ruling. I just see this very just and powerful king. But when it comes to what they want with you, they want to give you. It's so funny. We talked about the King of Wands. All the different kingdoms came about through the magic of their core signature symbol. But what's interesting is that the cups, remember, she's the only one who has a cup like this. The king gave her that cup. That's not her cup. In fact, is there anyone? I think the Queen of Swords is the only one who had her own sword. But yeah, otherwise, I think most of the kings gave their queen their most valuable possession as a sign of fealty, as their dowry or whatever. So this is interesting. The queen holds the cup, the most special cup that's like Ark of the Covenant level powerful. The king wants, most of all, to cultivate the cosmic egg. I want so badly to look up. But I'm not gonna pull the deck out because that will take too long. But there is something coming through about this cosmic egg. Cosmic egg, cosmic egg, cosmic egg. Come on. Cosmic egg. What the? Is the most prominent icon in the world of mythology. It can be found Egyptian, Babylonian, Polynesian creation stories. Broke out to make the egg a part of the sky, the golden womb. This is nuts. I believe that this is saying that they want to cultivate love with you, whether this is the creation of some sort of actual being, like, a kid or something, right? Like, sure, but this feels like they understand now that combining your love together can create something that goes beyond where it doesn't have to be a baby, right? You guys don't have to have a child together to do this. But whatever it is, it's like that. They understand that if they give you their love and they give you their seed, that you are the keeper of the light for them, that you are the keeper of all good things for them, and that the best thing that they can do is offer the healer and there's so many things that the divine feminine represents to them. Give that person that divine power. I'll focus on what I'm supposed to do. This is a deeper understanding of divine roles. Now, again, everybody is different. Everybody's relationship is unique and their dynamic is unique. You've got to figure out what that means. Right now we have the image of a masculine king, a feminine queen, as in man and woman. What does that actually look like in your dynamic? And what is it that is meant to be cultivated between the two of you? Because this just goes really, really deep and says divine masculine is thinking about things that two of wands we saw, them holding the world in their hands. They are really looking at this new level. They're so aware it's unreal. All right. What else do we need to know? Divine. Where is divine in it all? This to me is representing the lover's energy, because I already called out this divine feminine looks to divine looks to divine masculine watches divine feminine. And this is how we kind of keep each other in the divine flow, keep each other in check. So what is this lover's energy? To me, this is really representing a decision. What is the decision that they made that is going to allow them to step into this light with divine feminine? Oh, this is wild. Okay. Do you remember in the beginning of the reading I said, "Hey, divine feminine, what is it that you would have what did you tell your divine masculine, or what would you have told them, or more likely, what did you think of back when it was time for you guys to get together like a normal flow of a relationship and you couldn't?" And in your mind, it was just like, blow up the spot, just do this, just end it, just walk away. Like, what was it, right? So I asked that in the beginning. Now, let's take a second. These two cards, you're getting like a whole, I don't teach tarot or anything like that, but you're getting like a whole tarot teaching here as well here. These two cards, I often refer to them, but you rarely get to see them together, right? And it's the special reading when you see both. And the positioning that we have and the questions that this is deep. You'll notice that in each corner of the Wheel of Fortune, we have a winged creature. The wings. Okay, you're getting there. A winged angel, a winged eagle, griffin thing, a sphinx, and then like an ox thing. Okay. Now, in the world card, where this is obviously more of a drawing, here's the actual sphinx, and this is more like cartoony, whereas this is more realistic in the world card. The world card has a human person drawn, a man, an eagle, a lion, and an ox. There's no winged nothing. No, okay. So I often represent these energies as 5D, Wheel of Fortune, 3D, the world. I also say 5D is where the idea comes from. 3D is where the idea is brought to fruition. I tell people that when you have an idea, if you can think about the fool's journey from 0 all the way to 21, and you can even put it on a clock. So imagine you have a 0 at the top and it goes all the way around to 21. Well, there is a point between 21 and 0 that I often call the master builder period, but that's another story. But think about this. When you go into a new season, which is what's happening to the DM right now, by the way, we can watch them walk through this 0. When you go into a new season, you are going to start to receive, or probably already have received, some new thing that you're supposed to kind of bring to fruition in that season. And by step 10, from 0 to 10, you have gained the knowledge necessary to receive a larger download of what that thing actually is. And then between 10 and 21, you are actively bringing that 5D idea into the physical. And by the time you're done with that, you are closing out that cycle. The thing has come to fruition. It's gone from being an idea to, an actual being. And then you start all over again. And between the 21 and the 0 on that clock we were talking about that goes in a big circle, there is another point where you receive the seed. Oh my gosh, the seed gets planted. And so this is really important because the way we have this set up is the divine masculine so far on the journey has ended something, and then it's kind of going forward, and then we get Wheel of Fortune. So we're already kind of getting this confirmation just in the visuals that divine masculine is in a new season. But that's not what this is saying. The question was, what was the decision divine masculine made that is finally allowing them to look to their divine feminine like they're supposed to, just like the angel, I think, has been sending that message down to them? Well, Wheel of Fortune tells us they did whatever happened, whatever brought them to this moment where it's over. What did I just tell you? The Wheel of Fortune is the idea. The world is the actual thing happening. That says that this was not something caused by a solar storm or this idea. They knew that they were supposed to do this. They've been planning it. They might have been putting it in motion this whole time. This says that the divine masculine may have had their eyes on divine feminine longer than we think. This is a lot. This is a lot. The decision that they made was something that they thought of before. It was something that came to them also, I believe, in the 5D, which means it wasn't just a thought or an idea, it was a download. And they received this chapter is closing out message and listened to it like that, like it was nothing for them. I believe that whatever the decision was actually higher level, but what they did to blow up the spot was almost like a sacred lock. This to me confirms that divine masculine is in divine alignment, whether we believe this or not. I know it's tough. After 7 years of doing readings for divine masculines who couldn't get together to save their life, suddenly seeing this, if I had not received the New Wave Prophecy download, I would not believe this, and I would fight every reading for the rest of my time doing this. But by the grace of God, I have learned that we have left, by the way, now here's... we have left the season of divine consciousness, because that was a time where that was the point. Bringing oh my gosh, the season of swords is over. Bringing the divine masculine to the level of divine consciousness was what the last 7 years about. This 7 years is about divine manifestation. And the reason I believe that this is here, directly under the world, where we can connect the dots and a part of the story, all that's cool, that's important. But the reason that I think this is really here is we were meant to understand that divine masculine is currently manifesting something. They've already been given a sign. If this next 7-year season, which I think everybody listening to this right now, if you're a true twin, you'll be in reunion in this 7-year season. This season, the divine masculines are going to do what needs to be done, and they're going to come into reunion, because a part of divine manifestation for twin flames is the activation that occurs not only, when we connect and all that, but the activation that occurs when we are in reunion. There is a spark that changes 1 + 1 equaling 2 to 1 + 1 = 11. I can't explain it any other way than that. Hopefully you get it. Let's keep going. What else do we need to know? The land. Where is divine masculine looking to, I don't want to just say plant the seed. What is it that they're looking to settle down and do? What is like that first part of it? Oh, that is so cool. Oh, that is really cool. The 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is really, really exciting. Next to the Wheel of Fortune, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So already I'm like, yay, okay? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we now have 11, 11, and this is 10 up here, 3 + 7. So this is such a divine reading. This is very exciting. The divine masculine's first goal when it comes to the dominion, think about it like this. When we're thinking about being an emperor, and we've been given an idea that we're supposed to bring to fruition, and the first thing we must do is kind of decide, think Knight of Pentacles. Here's where I'm going to plant my seed. I'm going here, I'm going there. I'm trying to find the right place. I love to see that their idea of that is 10 of Pentacles, is I want to go where there's going to be a lot of fruit. I want to go where I can help a lot of people. I want to grow where I can live a long life and I can be a good person. Divine masculine is actually starting to envision themselves in the vision, or the future that they've seen, where in the past they could see divine feminine, or they could see the things that they wanted, but they couldn't actively see themselves like standing in it. So the first thing I think that they want to do is figure out, how do I make that life? Now, what's interesting is another 10 would be the answer. It's funny because I called the 10 of Wands out at the beginning, and now I'm seeing all this 10 energy. I believe that the 10 of Cups is what they're looking for. And it's very good to see that this Queen of Cups is coming in with this world energy, because to me, this is that 1 and then that 0 energy. The divine feminine, that manifestation energy, this is confirming that they now understand their divine success, their good success, is connected to their divine feminine and no one else. Nothing else. They can't do it alone. And it's not because they're not enough. They could do enough on their own to, I can maybe impress other people or whatever, but they wouldn't be happy. And they could try to do it with someone else, but the magic won't be there, so that person will really be holding them back. The only way that they can really see this expansion of the energy, again, 1 + 1 = 2 or 1 + 1 = 11, is with their divine feminine. And they're starting to see, this is how this goes down. I have to make sure that I am building with someone who knows how to create happiness, who knows how to create a foundation of joy. That is why, even in the beginning, the message we got was this 3 of Cups. I need a life worth celebrating. I need to be able to find someone who knows how to build that. The 10 of Pentacles actually has the Tree of Life image in this as well. There is so much. There's so much is happening right now. So, okay. All right. What else do we need to know? What are we asking here? So this is, I don't know if you can tell, but this is like a lion in a cave. You're walking up to the cave. You think that you know that it's an empty cave and that it's a safe place for you to be. So I think this is interesting that right after, where do you settle? Where's the land? Where are you going to, have your start? That there's a cave and there's a lion. And it's almost like when the divine masculine first goes and tries to have their start, What comes up and attempts to scare them off? This is to me more so representing the energy of an enemy, the energy of darkness. There's this pit, there's this feeling in the pit of my stomach. And again, I think it's as simple as you've walked up on what you thought was a safe cave, and now a big cat comes out of there, and you realize, like, I'm in trouble here. So, okay, what happens with divine masculine? What is the attack of the enemy when they first arrive? Oh my goodness. So this is very interesting. What this tells me is that the arrival that I mentioned happens after reunion. You should be aware of this, divine feminine. This reading is deep. This reading is so deep in that guy. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Okay. Because so far we've got like ones and sevens. Ones and sevens. Okay. To see the tower where I've mentioned it already on another card, 1 plus 6 is 7, and there's the tower, and there's these first few steps leading to divine on this path. I think what this says is after divine masculine cuts the grass to get the snakes out, after they've had their moment with divine, after they've connected with their divine feminine, the fear does come in. The fear comes in, and I think that it tries to attack them in their fear center where they would best remember it. How do I say this? This is going to be a trigger. This is going to be like obvious harassment. Now, some of you are the same faith as me, so you understand what I'm about to say, but some of you might not get it. One of the things that, in my belief, that we hold to is that as you approach something greater, something big, if you were just doing nothing and it was no big deal, no one would come to bother you. Because it's like, yeah, go be busy over there doing nothing. But when you're trying to do good things, when you're trying to follow your destiny or even your calling, well, now you're kind of messing with the equilibrium. Darkness doesn't want you to succeed. The evil forces, whatever you believe is, in the battle of good versus evil or dark versus light or whatever, right? Some people don't even see it that way, and I get that. But for those of you who do, you know what happens whenever you get a new idea. You ever heard somebody talk about how whenever their divine masculine starts acting right, all their exes hit them up? That's not some like Murphy's Law thing. That's an attack on your divine partnership. Because why would anybody want you and your DM together? Why would anybody want that? You two together could take over the world, or at least your little corner of it, no? Why would anybody think that's okay? So you have to understand, both of you are going to be under constant attack as you awaken. It's something that I'm so used to, and I've been used to because I've been aware of my prophetic abilities and gifting since I was young. So I don't know. The way I handle attacks is just different. Oh, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'd be like, but I know what's happening. In fact, the longer it takes me, let's say it takes me a full 24 hours to realize this is obviously, I just had an attack this week. I got close to getting some big project started and another one completed. And oh, what are the odds that all this crazy stuff would start happening? I wasn't stupid. I knew exactly what was going on. But there are points along the journey where that happens and you just don't even realize it. And I believe that is divine trying to kind of make a point and say, you've got to be so divinely aligned on this journey, so connected to me, that you expect the enemy to come in right when you have success. It wasn't there a movie? Was it Maleficent? Millicent? Wasn't there a movie where it was like, oh, the baby was born, and so the evil came in? I know that in the newer movie it's different, right? Because we celebrate evil now. But back in the day, it was like, oh, you had a new baby? I'm jealous, so I'm gonna go fuck everything up. That was how obvious we saw evil and darkness and all that as. Now again, we celebrate the anti-hero, so things have gotten muddied. And sometimes we forget that there is a major battle going on. What's the point of having star people from other dimensions and galaxies and all this just to do it? Just to be like, I am enlightened. No, there is something huge going on in other dimensions on the other side. To hear that the divine masculine is so aligned with divine that they, like divine, have now done some sort of sacred cut, some sacred closure from whatever has been going on, but to also see that they are so aligned in their divine purpose that the first thing that happens when they, arrive to finally start to do what they're supposed to do is an attack of tower proportions. I'm just saying, if you understand from a divine standpoint, this is not a surprise, and this is almost empowering, because it's like, fight it, DM. Yes, they're gonna come for you, and they're gonna keep coming for you, and you're not gonna give up. This should be like, oh, we're in it now. But the thing is, I'm the only weirdo most of the time who feels that way, and maybe like 10 of my closest people on here. Most people think that's a psychotic way to view life. But my thing is, some people are so much more wrapped up in the 5D than I am. You don't get all fired up. I don't are you bored? Like, what's going on here? So I want you to really ask yourself, when you see a sign like this come up in a reading with all this major energy, I mean, even down to some of the questions that are being asked and the positioning, ask yourself, what do I believe about this twin flame stuff? What do I believe about my divine masculine and their ability? Please like this video. Please like this video, because I know when I start talking about stuff, people click off. Please like the video. What do I actually believe? Because if I just think that this is about some dude or some chick who won't commit to me because they just want to fuck other people, and that's just what twin flames is, I am missing something. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's more to this. I've seen magic happen before my eyes. Why am I not paying closer attention? But for those of you who are like, Grace, honey, I'm right there with you. I'm a warrior too. What's going on? I'm letting you know right now that this will most likely happen with you there. Do you understand? This is not going to be divine masculine walking up on this cave alone. I believe that this fear moment is going to happen with you there, because what better way to with the divine masculine? Hello, there's two people falling out of the sky here, a king and a queen. What better way to mess with a divine masculine who, if they get with their divine feminine, there's just no breaking that apart. So the darkness cannot let that happen. What better way to screw with them than to try to mess with them the moment they get together and make both of them question everything? Like, oh my gosh, are you bad luck? Ever since you showed up, everything's been going wrong. Don't let that get twisted up in your head like that. Because that's the goal, is to mess with you and make you hate each other and build contempt and make you dislike people that you shouldn't and all this different stuff. When the reality is, you are a sacred being with a huge calling on your soul. Your purpose here is, in conjunction with your divine counterpart, some sort of massive mission that needed two souls, like needed two different people with two different lives. That's how important this is. Don't get caught up in the petty stuff. Remember, separation is only for a little while, and reunion is a moment, but reunion life is for a lifetime. Focus on what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, not just for this last little bit of separation and then that day of reunion. Reunion happens in the physical. Reunion happens in the 3D, okay? Separation is in the 5D, if you even believe in separation, because I believe it's a myth. So start to really just balance the way that you see all this stuff, because it's flipped on its head to help you keep clicking readings, but not to actually help you center yourself in the divine activation that was supposed to happen for you. All right, what else do we need to know? Because Grace is going off on her crazy tangents, yeah? Oh, okay. And interesting that it was reversed. So we have the sands of time, but time is up. All right, we flip an hourglass once it's already run out. So time is up. What is time up on? So I feel like we're coming back into the present. Ooh, time's up. Divine masculine must make a move. Now, this is actually a good thing for me to see, mainly because the imagery is so powerful. What I believe we have here is absolute infinity, absolute eternity. I think it's interesting that we've got this kind of these two things here. We've got the magician is holding one of the sticks that the world card girl, thank goodness, is all right here. It usually doesn't happen where you can see all the imagery. He's holding one. He's pointing down, as above, so below. One of the things that I've pointed out to people, oh my gosh, there's too many things going on. I just want to say, I feel like this represents the two sticks for some reason, and that the infinity represents the laurel wreath being twisted, which to me says divine masculine has an opportunity to, I mean, this is going to sound strange, but like really milk this new beginning for what everything that it is, almost like wringing out water. He's like wringing out the timeline. Divine masculine actually has a lot of control over the timeline right now. This says the ball has been in their court for a little while. Okay. Now, the divine imagery that we have here is a divine masculine. Well, I shouldn't say that, but in this case, we have the divine masculine. They're pointing down, they're pointing up. They have their magic wand creating this. There are two cards in this deck that have a border, the Queen of Pentacles and the Magician card. No other cards in this deck have a border like this, okay? To see this person as above, so below, you can actually tell, hey, there's pink flowers up top in the border. There's pink flowers on the bottom. There's even these ivy leaves. That's what's making up this, what is this called? You get it. The leaves. Why do I want to know this word so bad? But what else is missing? Well, we're actually missing these blue flowers. Why aren't they up here? Because the divine masculine is picking and choosing what it is that they want to bring in. He's pointing down, as above, so below. He's pointing down. I think it also says as below, so above. And he's saying, I want these things. I'm going to test my magic out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the first thing that I can see, and then I'm going to try to create something out of it. I'm not going to just try to duplicate it, because imitation is no longer what I'm about. I'm trying to make my own thing. So to me, what this says is the time is up on divine masculine. The magician card often says the time is now. You have the resources. Life is magical. If you don't have it, you can get it. So to hear, hey, time's up, divine masculine. It's your turn. It's your time. And to see the same symbol, this infinity symbol directly on the magician's head, this tells me that the divine masculine is in control here more than we know. Time is up for the old way of being, which was, I think, very hesitant, not really sure about things. And I think there was a lack of confidence and there was a lack of action, but the time is up for that. Divine masculine can no longer sit on the sidelines. This is a very intense reading so far. Once again, we've got, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and then you've got this 7, 7, and then you have all these 3, 3, 3. Is this the Knight of Swords? Interesting. So I think that what this is trying to point out to us is that the divine masculine, they have an ending that must occur. And that ending is going to occur because divine paths are opening and closing. On April 8th, divine closed out a timeline, put a cap on it is the way I've been trying to explain it. So if you see a timeline going this way and then all of a sudden you just close it, a sacred, immovable cap, we can never get back there. There are things that from April 8th, before that, in the last years, you are going to realize by the end of this year, you haven't seen them since. You haven't touched it since. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. Whoa, this is so weird. Grace is right. It's December 31st. And as I look back from April 8th to now and April 8th and before, there's a bunch of stuff missing. How did that even happen? I didn't even notice, and I was looking for it. Because divine is closing things off. To see divine masculine actively participating in that in their own life, it is so powerful to see them emulating divine. So I want to look, what are the 3 steps? I don't know why this is so important. I don't know what it means, but I keep hearing 3 steps to divine. So what are the 3 steps to divine, yeah? first step, the water. The water. The first step is the water. This makes me think about the Divine Queen. It makes me think about the Queen of Cups. It makes me think about the Star card and the Temperance card, where they were pouring the water. And I'm thinking that makes me think about Two of Cups. It's commitment. Commitment to the divine flow. Drink the Kool-Aid, which I know is a phrase a lot of people don't like. Drink the Kool-Aid, though. Sorry, I can't help it. That's what I hear. Oh, that's scary. Ooh, that's scary. The first step is scary for them because it's making me think about like Harry Potter and, the freaking backwoods moonshine potions that they would make in toilets, you know? And they didn't know if they accidentally put the wrong thing into it. And sometimes it backfired on them, And I feel like the divine masculine right now, they have this access to something really, really powerful. And that is this divine flow, but they've never touched it before. They've never gone, through the flow of the rapids here. They don't really know. Ooh, I just heard riptide, riptide. So if you have a divine masculine who's being told, hey, go in the flow, that's the first step, but it is really, really scary. I think what that says is divine is not just calling them, y'all. Divine is not just like, oh, hey, divine masculine, you want to come over here now? Divine is like, it's time. And they're like, time for what? Who is this? You know what it's time for. No, I don't. I think I know what you're talking about, and that's not happening. Do it. It's like, I don't know why, but that's how I feel like it feels. And divine masculine is like, yo, are you for real? Like now? So there's something weird going on here where I do get the sense of them having at least a heightened sense of awareness of what's going on. But also, I feel a pushback. But I don't think it matters because I feel like someone's behind them pushing them. Right off the cliff into the water. Oh, man. All the way down. Okay, I'm sorry. That's not funny. You know what's weird? Okay. So, the other day, before I flip this card, I have to tell you because I'm going to look up the song lyrics. Please like this video if you're here. I'm on your wave right now. Okay, I don't even know if that's... No thanks. Okay. Yeah, this is it. So what happened was, like, I don't know, a month ago, I heard this phrase in my head, I'm on your wave. And honestly, I didn't think anything of it because you guys know we talk about waves all the time. I have the new wave prophecy. I just didn't think anything of it. Heard it again and was like, that's weird. Then I hear a song and I'm like, yo, I've never heard this song before. It's an African song. And the guy saying, I'm on your wave right now. And I'm like, yo, this is nuts. What is happening? And then I forget the song. I can't remember the phrase. I cannot find it. I've been thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Then today the song plays. I'm on your wave right now. And I forgot again. I was supposed to tell y'all about the song. I've actually been getting a lot of song messages in the last week or so, and I have not been remembering to put one up. But one of them the other day I didn't even know was a song. I had to look it up, and it freaked me out. All right, Grace. The guy is just saying, I'm on your wave right now. It's unconditional, got me living softly, love me tender. I don't know what these were. It's an African song. I don't know exactly what he's trying to say because some of this isn't really like American phrasing. Wow. Go ahead, say something. Why won't you just open your mouth and say something? What in the world, y'all? Tell me when to say love me. Originates from Nigeria. Emphasizes the longing for gentle and tender affection. Aww. What is the last one? Wow, you turn me on like electricity. There's this pseudoscientific theory about the universe actually being electrical versus whatever they think it is right now. It's like a whole thing. This is freaking me out. I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm gonna leave you with that. First, I'm on your wave right now. Divine masculine is present on the journey, aware that there's something going on, might not know how much it has to do with divine feminine, but knows that it's definitely you, that it's a requirement, but also knows that this next stage is calling them to a higher level that, frankly, they're not sure they're ready for. They're really not sure if this is something that they're supposed to be doing, but it's the thing they've always wanted. So, I told you, I felt the fear. What's interesting, though, is that there's water. So we have the Eight of Swords. There's water at her feet. Or his feet. I always wonder if this is actually a dude. There's water at this person's feet. There's something here that almost feels like divine masculine has been trapped in this world, but if they could just get to the water, if they could just touch it. Ooh, I'm feeling like him of the garment a little bit, but this is also kind of like, again, a lot of my references when it comes to like magical stuff do come from Harry Potter because I used to read it a lot when I was younger. I'm thinking about whenever they had to travel and they would like touch an item together. And this is making me think that Divine said to Divine Masculine, the first thing you need to do is find water. And it's like Neo in the Matrix when it's like find an open line, an open phone line, and we can get you out of the Matrix. It's like that. That's what I feel. Oh my gosh, Morpheus. It's like he heard the voice of Morpheus. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. Now I'm looking around for the white rabbit. Is there a rabbit? No, there's not a rabbit. This is so weird. Okay, all right. First step. The first step towards divine is to search for the water, to find the divine flow. What's the second step? Ooh. This is the scythe, the reaper's tool. This is how you reap what you've sown. You reap the harvest. But this is also what death carries, to reap souls. So we're reaping. Okay. I'm looking around to see if there's anything that stands out to me about reaping. The only other thing I'm saying, though, that I'm thinking about is just that energy we felt from the death and even seeing this death here. All right. So the second step is most likely death, like an ending, and then the reaping of what remains, which to me confirms what the reading was about previously. Interesting. For some reason, the death stands out to me as the 7 wands, and so we've got the 8 of wands, we've got 8, 8. This is to me a karmic shift. Plus 8, 8, 16. This might be what the darkness uses against divine masculine in the future to try to get them back, to try to have them regress and return to the old ways, attacking, whatever this fear center is, and attacking whatever this need for constant, just, I don't know what, stimulation over, I don't know what this is for them. But so to see this, it's like divine masculine has to let go of whatever it is that they were already like in the process of, the momentum of. And they also have to really be prepared for the victory in something that they just, I think this is saying, if you're willing to sacrifice, I will give you what you've always desired. And I think this is really important because even outside of the twin flame space, whether we want to think about it like this or not, masculine energies are more 3D than 5D. Masculine energies are often manipulated by the same outside forces that manipulate us, except it's easier for them to be brought in. That's the whole like sex sells and the over-sexualization of everything nowadays. So divine masculines, before that divine title gets put at the beginning of divine masculine, they're just masculine. And masculinity is, man. Remember, we used to just call everything toxic. Pretty much just being masculine was toxic at one point. There's like a whole war on men and a whole war on women and a whole war on relationships. Everything's just jacked up right now. And as we're looking at what people are experiencing for a masculine energy in this day and age, maybe 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, different. But in this day and age, for them to be happy, they're going to have to deal with mental health issues. They're going to have to deal with physical health issues, everything you can think of under the sun, in order to be able to fight against the manipulation that comes along with social cultural norms and capitalism and marketing and advertising. And they have to fight against the overconsumption stuff, the same stuff we have to fight against. Divine feminines have our own way of fighting against it. Divine masculines, though, why would they willingly give up a chance to just sleep with whoever, if that's their thing, right? Or just focus on work and not have to worry about kids or a family or a wife or whatever it is that they are able to kind of enjoy when they're not in a relationship or when they're not, being held accountable by outside sources or forces. Why would they give up that level of freedom, especially nowadays, where they could just swipe and swipe and swipe? And I mean, I know dudes that would swipe yes to everybody just to see who would sleep with them. Like, I've seen how men could, and I think women too, could pretty much just use the society and the way things are nowadays and just go with that. Because why not? So when you're talking about a divine masculine, you're talking about someone who has turned their back on normal society, normal culture, normal, social stuff, and saying, look, it's not just about me being with my person. That's not that abnormal. But it's what we're going to do together and the life we're going to live and how we're going to be, that I have to give up on all the stuff that I used to think was important. So again, I really believe here Divine is saying to them, if you're willing to give up on everything that you've ever told yourself was the most important stuff, and you're willing to let me show you my power, I'll give you power over death. But that's another story. Okay. Last card. If you made it to this part of the reading and you haven't liked the video, please consider it. I know that sometimes you want to take readings and claim them as your own and take them away from other people, but that is not collective thinking. This reading is very, very important. Last message. Wow. This is really special. The third step, the 3 steps to divine, right? We're 3 steps from divine. We're so close. The third step is to hear the call of the trumpet. Hear the call of the trumpet. So find the water, drink the Kool-Aid, yeah? I think this says die and be reborn. Be willing to lose it all, lose your life to gain your soul. And then hear my calling and answer. What's the call? What is the trumpet sound? What is it that divine masculine must listen out for? And if you remember the judgment card, there's an angel blowing a trumpet. Divine feminine opens her arms up and lifts up and says, I will take it all. I'll do it, whatever you want. And divine masculine kind of holds their hands down like, what the fuck is that in the sky? Divine masculine no longer fearful, arms lifted up. So, what's the third step? The higher calling. So the 2 of Pentacles is a decision to go a higher path. Now, this is what's very interesting. For the last few years, I've been talking about the divine path going up and the not so divine path going down, and how at first we were doing it and we kind of could move parallel, and so we could hang out with people who were not on the same path as us and maintain those familial relationships, and everything was fine. We could even walk off our path and like go to work at a really fucked up place and it'd be no big deal, and then we'd go back to our higher path. But something happened. And in 2020, it kind of started to spread. And by 2022, you couldn't even really see the people over here, couldn't see them, and they couldn't see you. And then what happened that I think shocked everybody is that on April 8th, Divine sliced it down the middle. To where, I'm going to tell you like this. Sure, can you still talk to somebody who's on a different path than you if you're over here and they're over here? Oh, sure. But it's like the Tower of Babel, baby. They don't understand what you're saying. And you can't understand how they can't understand. And you're an empath, but you still can't. You just don't understand. I don't get it. I'm letting you know right now. The divine masculine has been looking at fool's gold for years, staring at what they thought was the most valuable thing for years. I want you to understand. They've known that the higher path, that the highest good of all, I mentioned it already in this reading, they've known it was the right way. But the fool's gold felt so heavy. It felt like it was so important. It looked so much shinier. And what you'll notice is once again, we have imagery connected, a king and a queen right next to each other. We've got, this beautiful kingdom, and then boom, there's chaos. And underneath this symbol, this infinity symbol that makes up an hourglass, and this infinity symbol is another infinity symbol. Next to 8 and 8, 2 8s, we have a 2 that has an 8 on it. Divine is trying to get your attention to Divine Feminine. DMs aren't watching this, you are. These images are meant to unlock something in you. And what I see here, I see a Divine Masculine who's hearing the call that says, hey, it's time. What's the time for? I often say the 2 of Pentacles. This guy is trying to choose. There's a path back here. Think about it like the path less traveled. Little boat, not really sure. They're going off on a crazy adventure somewhere. And then there's the path they've often taken. Big old boat. It looks fancy. Everybody's curious about it. Oh, it's going to America. Yeah, America's a pretty cool place, man. So they're like, man, I should just go to America like everybody else is. Let me just keep going back and forth. That's kind of the image that I get with the 2 of Pentacles. And Divine Masculine is being called to the road less traveled, to a narrow path. And it's like the ship's horn is sounding. This is your final boarding call, Divine Masculine. Which boat are you going to get on? So this reading it to me, it's not in an order necessarily. Because this section that we just went over are the 3 steps to divine. Interesting, think about this. We have get to the water. There's water on this stone. We have quick moving energy. And all of them have water, by the way. And then the last one is about a ship's horn that's going to blow. This is telling us, I'm getting like 6 of Swords imagery here. This is telling us, and it's very interesting because Divine Feminine, at the beginning of the reading, I said that Divine Masculine is going to get pushed off this cliff. And in the Radiant, you can actually see there's like a little tiny town at the bottom of that card. You can't see it on the deck, right? Then we have a king who's obviously sitting on the edge of a cliff. Yeah. And then we have a queen. There's a cliff right behind her, and she's by the water. Then we have the Tower card, and we've got, what was I talking about with the mountain? I don't know. I'm seeing a bunch of stuff here. But then my point is, the Divine Masculine being called to the shore, called to the shoreline, called to the water, called to me, even with this reading being out of order, there is imagery here that is extremely important. If you got a download and you're willing to share it in the comments, what is the download you received? And if you can understand what is this divine is asking, what would this 3-step process look like to your Divine Masculine? What would being called to the water, drinking the Kool-Aid, committing and accepting or committing to the divine way, what would that look like? What would it look like for them to give up everything they've ever put their heart into? But what would be something that I think they'd be willing, like if they got if they get rid of this, but they get this, what would the thing that in the other hand that they go, okay, it's worth it. I wouldn't mind getting rid of all this for this one thing. And then what is this? What is the trumpet call? What is the aha moment for them? What is the thing that says I'm going to pick the right boat? What does this look like in your divine masculine's life? Anywho, I'm going to get going because I feel like I need to spend some time with this reading before I go to bed and figure out some of the deeper meanings behind these things. I think it's also going to be really, really important for the divine feminine collective to say, look, if I have a divine masculine who's coming out of darkness and into the light, and I know that this is all the stuff that they're going to be facing, is there anything that I can be doing within myself on my own journey or for them, right? To help prepare for them so that I can assist them and facilitate ease during this process. And also, if you know that this reading doesn't resonate forever, but does resonate right now, I think the question is going to be, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do if I don't know exactly when this is going to be, but I know this is my message? I'm supposed to be here. I just don't know exactly when. Figure out for yourself how to make sure that you are able to be the lighthouse on the shore, which is what we often talk about with the Queen of Cups. Like having that beacon of light that calls them. I mean, obviously they need it, especially if they're getting on a boat and they're coming to you. But also you still have a kingdom to run, right? You still need to be in your highest vibe and your highest energy. You have your own enlightenment journey that you're on. What is it that you need to be doing right now? So this was deep. I'm going to go. If you're still here and you're like, who is this lady? And you're new to my channel, what's up? I'm Fiery Grace the Gifted. I am an intuitive life strategist here on YouTube. I use tarot cards to help my clients, friends, and subscribers get more clarity about their journey. If you want to work with me, my website is thefierygrace.com. There's a lot of stuff on my website. I offer long-term coaching. I offer live phone sessions, readings that you could watch on YouTube, or readings that you can participate in where it's almost just like this, except we're on the phone, but you can see the cards live. It's really, really fun. It's really cool, but it's just a great way to get the information you're looking for. The most affordable thing that I have to offer are card readings and quick phone calls. So if you're interested in talking to me directly, I was supposed to share the flash sale. Boom. If you're interested, I did open up a 30-minute call. So I'll share that from time to time. And I think that's everything I'm supposed to say here. If you made it to the end of the reading, don't forget to leave your comment signature. My comment signature is a butterfly, stars, and then fire. And that just represents my transformation from a butterfly into Fiery Grace. So if you're interested, you can create a comment signature that represents you or your DM or sends a little message to them, but you leave that same comment signature on every reading. Yes, it does help promote and boost the video and support the channel. However, at the end of every month, I give away a free reading, a personal reading to someone who has left this comment signature. I've been doing it for many, many years and I will continue to. Cheryl won for this month. I think last month, I don't remember now. Sorry guys, I give away a lot of stuff. So, I will do a giveaway next weekend. So if you want to join us next Sunday, hopefully I do a reading. If not, I'll do it like Monday or Tuesday, whatever it comes through. But for everybody else who's still here, I just want to say thank you to those of you who decided to like the video. I think there were a lot more people here than we usually would have and even less likes. So it sounds like we might have had a lot of new people coming in, but also maybe that some of our regulars forgot to hit the like button. I know it happens, y'all. So if you do see that like button has not been clicked, thank you for clicking it. It's the one exchange of energies that you guys can do here that is completely free and makes a big difference on the channel. So thank you so much. The normal YouTube stuff, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting is appreciated. That's everything, right? I love you guys. I'm going to get going, as I said a billion times, yeah? Yeah, that's everything. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Oh my gosh, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Why? Oh, good night, everybody. Oh, if you made it all the way to the end now that everybody else is gone, I want you to leave something that feels like an explosion. You can make it look like something is exploding where you've got like an emoji in the middle and then you've got like emoji here and emoji here and it's like ah or whatever. But I want you to leave something that seems like an explosion of energy or like that is like an example of your divine masculine blowing up the spot. And again, if you made it all the way to the end and you're willing to share anything in the comments, let the video refresh and then go to the comment section and share it so that others can see it, because most people are not going to review the chat if it becomes available afterwards. But a lot of people can benefit from your wisdom. So please do consider taking the time just to leave us a little bit of information or to answer any of the questions from today. Okay, I love you. I'm out of here. Bye.